Hi everyone, welcome back. At this point you should have all your categories sorted out so you know what you're calling everything and what bucket it falls into. Now we're going to go ahead and start making our spreadsheet powerful to help us kind of see where our spending is, to help us change our patterns and do the things we want to do in life. Alright, let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to convert all of these into drop-down menus instead of just having to type the word in all the time. So I'm going to just drag down through here. Then I found my categories, highlight all my categories. So I went from D2 down to cell D46. All my categories highlighted. Then I'm going to come here to data and choose, maybe it's format, maybe it's insert. It's insert, sorry. I'm going to go to insert and then down to drop down. When I do that, it converts all of these into drop-down menus. So now instead of having to type it in, I can actually just come and just click which one. But I'm noticing there's some stuff wrong with it. So over here on the right-hand side, it should bring up this data validation rules window. And I'm noticing that, let's see, auto, clothing, eating out, entertainment. I got two groceries. So I mistyped groceries once, and it doesn't know they're the same thing. Actually, I mistyped it wrong. Mistyped it twice. So this one I'm going to change. I'm going to make this one the right one, Groceries. So that's my new groceries one. And then this one I'm just going to delete because it's spelled wrong here. And then here I did the same thing. I made a mistake with spelling miscellaneous here. So I'm going to get rid of that miscellaneous. Let's see, personal care, pet, rent. Well, I've got two rent and utilities. This has two I's in it. This is Rehaunt. Okay, so that's definitely the wrong one. And the other one is right. Okay. Now by deleting some of those categories, I've gotten these little red boxes here for invalid because this is the old category. So to fix that, I'm just going to click on groceries and then find the new groceries one. Now it's also fun, over here you can change the color of each one. So you can say here, I'm actually let auto be gray, and then you can change the color of the tab. And as you do that, over here it becomes, colorful. For each one of those, it helps you see how many times it shows up in your menu. So I'm going to go through and change these colors a little bit. And maybe in the end, I can go with these to be a little darker. Alright. So now I come down here and I find all the ones that are either still gray here or this little invalid note in the corner. And on this one should be groceries. And I'm just going to come down here and click. So this is a lot easier than having to type in the word every single time. So I'm going to fix this real quick and then we'll get moving on. Alright, take your time to fix yours. Mine are all done. So I can hit done here. And I'm going to close out the data validation table. At this point now, we want to be able to visualize how much of our money is going well. We're going to do that with a chart. So I want to highlight the amount column and the word amount as well. And I'm going to drag down from C1 all the way down to the end of my table, not including the total of my monthly expenditures. And then I'm going to come up here and say insert and say chart. And it's going to throw this chart in here for me. And right away I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. Like I can see how much, but then I'm like, wait, I don't have this many categories. So when I start looking closely, I see there's a rent utilities here and another one here. There's a whole bunch of different entertainments. So obviously what it's doing is it's actually putting in the pie chart each individual row from the table. That's not what I want. So over here on the right side on chart editor, I can click on aggregate, which means to take things that are separate and put them together. So it's going to take all the rent and utilities and put them into one big rent and utility here, all the autos here, all the miscellaneous. This is more of what I wanted. All right, I'm going to double click on this. And I'm going to call this monthly expenses. So the title of it, I'm going to call it monthly expenses. And now I can really easily visually see what's going on with all my expenses. I can see that most of my money is going out to rent and utilities. This is probably too big of a number for what I'm doing. I've got a big chunk for eating out. Look how big eating out is compared to most of my stuff. Eating out and entertainment. I might merge these categories even if I want to kind of get a feel for how much money I'm spending in those categories. I don't know. You can do all kinds of cool stuff. All right, now we want to actually summarize the amount of money we're spending in each category. To do that, we're going to make a new table. We're going to have this table be category. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go through here and you're going to find all of your category names and type them into here, right down through here, all the different categories. I'm going to do that on mine. You do that on yours. Push pause and come back when you're done. All right, I have all my categories included down here now. Now I need to figure out how much I'm spending on each one. So I'm going to do the word current here, meaning our current spending. And then I'm going to type here goal. So this is how much I want to change the category by. So do I want to increase it, decrease the amount of money I'm spending in that category? All right, so to find out what my actual values are, I'm going to click up here and I'm going to create, we need to create what's called a filter. I'll show you what it does. So you're going to click on A1 up here and highlight all of these down here, all the way through cell D46. So they all should be highlighted. And then we're going to come here to data and we're going to do a filter, create a filter. It'll put these little green like triangle lines up here. And what we can do now is click on one of these triangle lines in the category one and hit the, right now they're all turned on. These are all our different categories. We can hit clear and just turn on just the auto one and click OK. Now it comes up with just this one big blue circle. We need to fix that. So we're going to double click on the blue circle and there's all these different options that we have here. Chart. Looking for the right one, pie slice. Maybe we don't have the right thing. Let me find it real quick, I'll come right back. Okay, sorry about that. Now I know why I couldn't find it. You can't do what we want to do when we're in this one thing. So we need to put the filter back out to select all 9 here. So we have all of our pie chart back out. And now when we double click on it, we'll get well, maybe not. Here we go. Under pie chart, we want slice label, and it says none right now. We want value and percentage. So we'll turn that on. Because our pie chart's kind of small, it doesn't show up here yet, but it will show up when we do a specific one. So now I'm going to come over here and click on this and clear all of them and just choose auto. Click OK. And now that's my total. 280.37 is my total here. I'm going to come back over here, turn select all 9 on, click OK. And I have to remember that number, 280.37 for mine. And then I can set a goal here. I can say, hey, do I expect my gas and auto payments and all that stuff to be more expensive next month or less expensive? And then I can put that goal here. So let's say I think it should stay flat. I'm driving to work every day. I'm going to have a goal of 280 for my gas and insurance and everything. And I'm going to go on and do the same thing for the next one. So groceries, I'm going to click down here. I'm going to clear all of them and then just turn on just groceries right there. And I can see I don't know where this .000 nonsense comes from, but $500.96. Okay, so I'm going to come back over here, turn all my categories back on, and then $509. I should have written that down. Oh, I forgot it. Now next month I'm thinking groceries, that sounds like too much for me, so I'm going to set my goal to go a little cheaper. I'm going to set my goal down to $425 for next month. And you're going to do that for each one. You're going to go through each category, see what the spending is, and then think, is that something that, is that much, do I want to spend that much money on that thing, or can I get by on less? All right. And then before we go on, let's go ahead and set these to $signs. So I just highlighted all of the numbers here. and then I'm going to click on the Format as Currency button. And I can click Format up here and Number, and then Currency here as well. So there's a few ways to get to it if you don't see that $ symbol up there. And then I'm going to go ahead and bold all of this. So I'm going to highlight those and bold those, and bold these. And I'm going to turn some table borders on. And maybe I might even do some alternate colors. So formats, alternating colors, and this one I'm going to go green on. Okay. And at the bottom here, I actually want to add one more thing, which is a total. And that's going to be an equals, because we're going to be doing some math with it. And it's already guessed that I want to do the sum, but I'm going to type it in. So sum, parentheses, and then I'm going to highlight the things I want to add together, which are all of those, and hit enter. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to go equals sum, S-U-M, not S-O-M-E, but S-U-M, and then highlight all of the things I want to add together, and then close it and hit enter. Okay, so once you finish all of that, you'll have, oh, actually let me add some borders here. And there's one last thing that we're going to do. So I want to actually create this sheet over again. So I'm going to right click on the October down here, and I'm going to say duplicate this sheet. And this is a copy of October, and you might not be surprised when I tell you I'm going to change this to November. And then I'm going to just delete the data portion, not the category portions, just the data portion. Delete those. And then I'm going to delete these in here as well for the November one. And now next month I can enter in all of my data for this month, and then change its category, and it will start updating itself. So if I type in an amount of $32.65, you can see already it's starting to put in the thing. For this one I could do 25843, and let's say that oops, 258. Let's say this was actually groceries, so I would just come here and change this to groceries, and it would constantly update my pie chart and keep track as I go along. So kind of a fun, cool thing to have. And you could make a new one for each month and keep track of everything. All right, my friends, finish off the table. So make sure you go back to your October, and that you're finishing off this table, setting your goals and your current. And this is just a quick introduction to one possible technique for keeping track of all of your monthly expenses. Have a good day. Oh, you're ready to turn this in. Yeah, so submit this in Google Classroom.